We are going to proceed to the panel discussion. The first panel discussion will be about startups, innovators in the healthcare, which will be moderated by Dr. Rasheed Al Hammadi, the head of medical research and development of healthcare at Abu Dhabi Department of Health, and participating delegates and startups, starting with Nadine Nehme, Chief Science Officer of Medicus AI, Mr. Ahmad Al Hidiq, the co-founder and Chief Executive Officer of HeyDoc, and Mr. Aldo Figarella, a TIP 2019 Innovator. Please proceed to the stage.
Can everyone hear me? Good evening, and we thank you for joining us this session. And as important as Professor Lawrence outlined early on, the innovative aspect about healthcare is a demand, a necessity, and a necessity to move forward. And if we were to be able to reap the fruits of innovation, then we should and must allow innovators such as the one sitting to my left to flourish, to start, and to help them out all throughout their ideation process, all the way to commercialization if possible. And it so happens that I am currently working in the regulatory aspect of the healthcare sector, along with Professor Lawrence in the same division, Department of Health. And we are concerned mainly with how to regulate healthcare research and medical research in order to be able to maintain to be in par with the international standards as far as latest technology is being introduced into our healthcare sector. So I'm going to start by just going back to the idea of TIP, Technology Innovation Pioneers, that actually was started collaboratively between Department of Health and also Department of Economic Development. And since its inception, we have harbored together and also independently many or numerous ideas that some of them have come to fruition and also to even practice these days. So since the inception of TIP, there were the owners of TIP, DED in particular, have identified 3 challenges along with our own healthcare system or sector. Child obesity being one of them, assistive technology being a second, and finally the analysis of big data, just like Dr. Lawrence outlined earlier also. This session primarily will focus on innovative solutions that address these issues that we have outlined in the past, and also new emerging issues that may come up. So I think I'm going to start with Ms. Nadine, Dr. Nadine. Welcome to the session, and I'm aware that you are a founder or a co-founder of a AI-based platform named Medicus AI. So I think I'm going to start with you with the first question. What does Medicus AI do to improve healthcare other than the status quo?
Thank you very much for the invite. It's a pleasure being here. So our status and our motto at Medicus is helping everyone understand their health, because we believe that by empowering people and patients by understanding their health, we can improve the healthcare system. If you have anyone in front of you who actually understands the impact of everything they are doing within their regular life on their health, they might be amenable at some point to change any unhealthy habit or anything that they are doing that actually is impacting their life.
I think just to go along the same line, I'm trying to picture myself having this platform and all my biochemistry and my physiological results are continuously being popped up in front of my eyes. Do you think I will have time to have a normal life?
Yes, absolutely, because the aim of it is, if you want, it's a companion that you will actually go to whenever you need to understand anything related to your health. You will go to it on a different basis. You will go to it as your lifestyle coach. You will go to it to be empowered and to know what's happening, what's the latest technologies that are happening right now, what are the advancements, how can I prevent disease, how can I take care of myself. And all of this, when you deliver it with a easy to understand language, an interactive user experience where people can actually relate to it, we believe that it will have a very big impact on everyday's life.
Have you had any success stories that were actually the result of using your own platform in any healthcare sector?
We started deploying the solution internationally, so the first users are now in Europe, and we have a very positive feedback where users are very interested in the actionable recommendations we are providing to them, with the fact that it's an educational platform at the same time, because anything we are providing these users to do, they also have the source where they can actually click on it and learn more about what they are looking for. The return so far is really good.
Excellent. Thank you very much. Same question to Professor Ahmad Al Hidiq. So let's see, what does HeyDoc do?
Yeah, so today patients can easily, or people can easily go online when they have any kind of medical issue and try to understand more of what's going on with themselves. But the problem with it is it leads to anxiety. So we all know what happens when we Google something. It's either cancer or you need to chop your hand off. And 75% and more of non-urgent sort of health issues or medical appointments, being physically or virtually, end up with you going back home with no treatment needed. So our goal was to come out and sort of tackle this kind of issue, which is help patients understand what's going on, or people understand their own health, help them triage their own symptoms, and then direct them to the right doctor or advisor that can help them answer these questions when they are struggling with a non-urgent health issue.
I'll go back to Dr. Nadine again. There's this question that, when did you know that you had an idea that is really worth betting your life on, like the one that you had? Maybe you'll have more to come, so.
Hopefully.
How do you get to that level of knowledge and understanding that this is it?
The basic idea behind Medicus comes from the fact that my background comes from research and medical research, and all my family, whenever they do a blood test, they would just call me up, friends, family, asking me, okay, I can see that I have RBC written with a number next to it, 6.7. What does this mean? Am I gonna die tomorrow? Because they have a small letter next to it, it's an H. What do I do now? And it was always a pleasure to explain or to help friends, colleagues, family to understand what's going on, but at the same time to simplify things, because not everyone get to understand the cryptic informations we are receiving these days within the medical reports. And having a platform that will allow Mr. Everyone to just understand what's going on with clear visuals, with clear recommendations that are personalized to each and every one of us. Because as Ahmad said, if I right now Google what I have, 99% of the time I either have a cancer or you have to chop something out of me. So by actually just providing you the right information at the right time,
right source.
Exactly, within the right scheme of how you want to deliver these, it helps a lot. So once we actually, my co-founder and CEO of Medicus, Bahir, the idea stemmed from a report he saw in Wired, where they were trying to make sense out of a blood report, and they're trying to actually do a little bit of visualization of what would someone understand. And actually this is I think it comes out from a need, because people need this. Every one of us needs this. If you don't have the medical background, you are at some point stuck.
I remember teaching basic biology courses in college, and kids would just, okay, what is this? What is the use of this when we reach hematology, for example? And then I would give them, this is, the normal range of RBCs or WBCs. So I tell them, when you go next time to your blood test and you look at that, you really can understand what these letters mean. And some of them actually years later came out to be in the healthcare profession. And actually they let me go in first before anyone else because I taught them. So that was one of the benefits. So now the question comes to Ahmed. Do you get to choose your co-founder, or the co-founder comes and seeks you out?
So my motto is, when searching for a co-founder, because we get this question all the time, a lot of aspiring entrepreneurs, they come and they try to ask you questions and they need advice and help. And my motto is, go out and find the smartest and most enthusiastic and passionate person that you know, and then ask them for the smartest and most passionate, enthusiastic person that they know, and try to surround yourself with these people. And that is the kind of mentality that you need, because what you're trying to do is not easy in any way possible. And you need people that are willing to do everything to make it happen. And you need people, you need to understand, having these people around you will help push you and push what you're trying to achieve, the problem that you're trying to solve, even further. So that's how we did it, and that's how we advise others to do it. That's how they did it, and you'll see that this is the common trend with everyone that gets somewhere.
So is this an invitation for any new co-founders to join?
No, of course, we need as many brains as possible.
So I have a next question, follow-up again. What was the aspect of starting your own company that surprised you most? I guess part of your answer should be, what would be your next challenge or your next innovative idea, in which field? So.
To answer honestly your question, I would say that what struck me the most is that when I said out loud that I'm diving into something different, so my background is academia, PhD, postdoc, teaching, exactly. And then at some point I decided to let go and to just take a deep dive into technology and into entrepreneurship. And everyone was telling me, like, are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to make this a huge switch? And in my head, it wasn't a switch. In my head, it was
natural transition.
And I'm taking everything that I learned. And this was the biggest, if you want, the biggest surprise, is that this was true. Like, everything I learned during all of my academic career, actually I can use it right now. And it's only a different in treating things. It's only a different in perspective. Like, when you found your own startup, you have to have funds. You have to go and pitch your solution, and you have to have an innovative solution in order for people to invest in you. But when I was in the lab, I also had to write up grants, and I had to seek the money that is needed for my own research to go far away as much as I needed it.
There's a lot of parallelism here, yes.
Exactly. So this was my biggest surprise.
Excellent. So what would be next that you're...
My next big challenge is bringing Medicus. So right now, Medicus AI is a platform that sits in other businesses and other healthcare providers. So it's a platform, it's an engine that we developed that helps interpreting medical test results, and at the same time gives an interpretation for the users in order for them to understand their health. And we built also the other components for the medical doctors, and this is where we are talking about smart assistants during diagnosis. And my next big challenge is being able to bring Medicus to be the platform that is integrated everywhere when it comes to healthcare.
It will not only include the biochemical results, but maybe imaging and maybe something and genetics. Excellent. And the same question to you then, Ahmad Al Hidiq. What would be next for HeyDoc?
So our aim is to democratize healthcare. Our goal is to build a unified and integrated platform that can help patients, or people, I keep saying patients, it's people, help people diagnose, or not, like triage their own symptoms, integrate with all the data that is around us, from wearable devices, diagnostic tools, and all of these devices, and then bring in this live data, and to be able to continuously monitor it intelligently and make sense of it. And then we can take all of this data and push it into a holistic patient profile that is in our pocket, that can understand, that over time understands who we are, and then can understand if something wrong is going to happen. And then call 911 if we feel, or if the platform deems it necessary. The future, there's a lot of innovation happening across the board. Medicus is doing a brilliant job in one side, and you've got amazing sensors and tools and wearables that you could just put behind your earlobe and that can monitor you day and night. And in healthcare, being the conservative kind of industry that it is, things usually happen slower than everything else, but we are seeing all of this happen now in front of our eyes, and the future is all of it diverging. We're having this chat in the back, and the future is all of it diverging into one sort of connected ecosystem.
Singularity.
Yeah, and our goal is to be in the center. We talk to everyone that's doing all these amazing things and help connect them all together. That is our goal for us moving forward. Step one was always the communication. Help person A communicate with Dr. B. Step two is give them a little bit of insight, give them a little bit of more information. And then step three, which is what they're doing, is make sense of this information. And then step four, it becoming sort of more autonomous or more proactive and preventative.
Thank you very much. I was told that I have only a minute and a half left, so I'm just going to leave you with both of you with the same question, I believe. How different is your company today, or your product today, than it was first when you started it? It's like almost an embryology course.
Yes.
One said all the way
Yes.
to
And the answer is actually follows this biological biology, developmental biology status. The mission is there. The principles are there. The culture that we build within the company and then within our co-workers is there. What's changing is sometimes the way we approach things, because we now have a lot of feedback from the market. We are going to seek advice from our clients, from the stakeholders who will be using our solution, which helps us a lot in tailoring the offering and know exactly what are their pain points. When you have your idea and you create something, you are in your own bubble and you think that people might need it in exactly step 1, 2, 3. Yet when you expose it outside and you see that, okay, maybe they want me to shift things around to make sense for them. And this is exactly what we did.
Things have evolved, like Nadine mentioned, things have changed, and for us, we started with one thing, and we've probably changed 100 times by the time we are where we are today.
Right?
Exponentially, yeah, and I would say in a few years things are going to change even 1,000 more times. And for stuff like this to evolve and happen, in the end, we need the support of the ecosystem. We need better services. We need things to happen easier. We were having a chat earlier. When you open things up to everyone, then you're opening things up for more talent to do more great things. So when we ease things, the policies are there, which is what you're working on, and making sure that it is out there and right, things can happen properly. So
thank you very much. It's a very exciting panel discussion, as you may have heard, and I'm really willing to go on until midnight, but I think I'm told that the time is up, and I guess the audience is welcome to share and discuss with the two pioneers and innovators here with their concerns and questions. From our side, I think we'll try to make sure that innovation is not something to be fearful of. Rather, innovation is the right direction to go to, and let people innovate, invest in innovation, and then this is how we move up into a knowledge-based economy. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.